Hey guys, it's Sherry Vegas and welcome back to my channel. So in this tutorial today we're going to see if we can make resin glow. For this project I bought some glowing powder that I'm going to see if I can mix through resin and make my resin pieces glow at night or when like a black light goes on them. So the few things that I've gotten to get started is I've decided I'm going to make glowing dominoes because I just think that is like such a cool idea because then you can play with them in the dark, and also too, like, I like to go camping and it's good to have like some entertainment that isn't needing any sort of power resource. So having glowing dominoes will be really cool at camping. It will also help you stop losing them. So I've got some domino molds, but you can obviously take this idea and do it with any sort of mold that you want to do. Then I've got some glowing powder. So this one is purple and it's glow in the dark pigment from Just Resin. And then I'm going to actually mix in some holographic glitter and do a few other things just to have a bit of fun with it.
Okay guys, let's get started. So I've got these domino molds and I just got them off my Amazon store and that is linked below in the description. And then I got this purple glowing pigment powder from Just Resin. It comes white, but it's meant to color change and glow, so that's pretty cool. And I'm just using the MakeArt casting resin for this tutorial. Because I am obviously casting it into a mold. So that's just a 2:1 ratio resin, and then I'm mixing it up. I'm not too concerned with my little test run that I am doing with a few dominoes if I get bubbles in my resin, because they're not the ones that I am keeping. So I'm going to be trying out some silver holographic glitter. That one is from Archery Creations. And then this iridescent holographic glitter, just to kind of see which one would look better with obviously the purple pigment glowing powder. And then I've just split off my resin. I've only used a tiny bit because I only want to make a few to just do a little test run. In the first one, I just did one little pea-sized scoop of my powder, and then in my silver one, I did two, just to see if there is a difference in the way that it glows if you add more of that pigment powder into the resin. The reason why I am doing one with the silver holographic and one with the iridescent holographic glitter is just because I think with just the glowing powder, the dominoes might look a little bit boring on their own, especially during the daytime. So I thought by adding some holographic glitter in it, it's just going to kind of take it up a next level and make them a little bit more interesting when obviously it's not nighttime and they're not glowing. And then I'm just pouring out those into my domino molds. These are just going to be my test runs to make sure that they actually glow before obviously I make a full set, so that way I don't waste resin, because I'm unsure about how much like pigment powder I need to add in for them to really glow. And anything else that might happen, because this is the first time I'm using a glowing pigment powder in resin. So anytime you use a new product, it's always good to just test it out first in a small amount before obviously you start making something massive. Then I also have this holographic cellophane paper. So I just cut a little bit out and I'm sticking it on the back of one of my silver ones, and then also on the back of one of the iridescent glittered ones, just to see if it kind of makes a really cool effect or not, or whether I just want to do straight glitter. So if you watched my last tutorial, you would know that I am moving house. I am getting a bigger place because my studio is just so small that I don't have much room to work in. But I decided before I moved I would clean my studio out, so that's what I've been doing today to try to get rid of a few items, so that way I don't have to move all my stuff. And so far, it is not going well. I cannot manage to throw out anything because I think I can always come up with an idea to use it for a future tutorial or something like that. And it is just so hard to get rid of any art supplies. Is anyone else like this and just cannot get rid of art supplies because there might be a project in the future you could use them on?
So my little experimental pieces are done. So I put double the amount of the powder into these two, and then I put just like one scoop into these two. This side also has the iridescent holographic glitter, and this side has like the silver holographic glitter. I think I do prefer the iridescent better. Then I also, like on two of these, just put some of this iridescent cellophane paper on the back. I just kind of wanted to see if it would make it like even cooler. Honestly, I haven't really noticed a difference between the ones that have got that on the back and the ones that are just the straight glitter. So I think just to make it simpler, I'm just going to go for the straight glitter, the iridescent one. But now it's time to give it a test go and see if it actually glows. So I just bought this off Amazon. You can find it, I'll link it below. I think it was like $10 or $15. But it has a black light in it, so I'll have to turn the lights off to show you guys whether it glows or not.
So of course I forgot to film the part where I checked to see to make sure that my test pieces did glow, and they both glowed, and I didn't really see a difference between the amount because the silver one did have double the amount of glowing powder and I didn't see any difference. I've decided to go with just the holographic iridescent glitter, and then I'm going to be adding in my glowing powder into that. So I've mixed up 150 mils in total, and that was pretty much spot on, the perfect amount to fill up the entire 2 trays of my domino mold. And then I just added a few scoops of my glowing pigment powder into my resin and then just poured it out. Also too, you don't need to get that black light, so save yourself that $10 to $13 that it cost me to get. I thought I would need to get it to make them glow, but if you just leave these in the sun for a little bit and then take them into a dark room, they glow super bright. I'm not sure whether it's because I'm using like purple powder and the black light is purple, but I found it made like no difference. It would be interesting to see if it would make them glow brighter if it was like the orange or like the yellow UV like glowing powders, but with the purple one they glowed just as fine on their own, so you do not need to go and get that light. I left my dominoes for about 24 hours before I pulled them out of the mold and demolded them, and now I'm just using this liquid chrome silver pen. I'll add it in the link below. This is one of my favorite pens to use, and if you've watched my channel before, you would see me using this pen all the time. I get mine from an artist friend who has a store called Artist and Maker, and I'll add that link below, so if you want to buy that online from her. Otherwise, I'm sure you can find it from a few other places. I just really like this because, one, it's super simple to use, and it helps show up the sort of bumps in the dominoes, and it fits in perfectly. So I just ended up doing this on all of them. It does take a little while to go through and do all of these dominoes, but I think it's worth it and they look so pretty. I'm really happy that I ended up mixing the iridescent glitter through because these just look so beautiful even in the daylight, and without the glitter I think they would look a little bit boring. But then as soon as you add them into a dark room, they just start to glow so brightly. I thought that was really cool to see the color change. And then I also thought I would show you this. The pigment powder on its own doesn't glow, so it must be activated by the resin, because you can see it next to the dominoes and it's not glowing at all. So that I thought was pretty interesting to see.
If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out and lets YouTube know to show this video to more viewers. And leave a comment in the box below. Let me know what your thoughts are on glowing resin, or if you have any other tutorial ideas you would like me to try out. I'm always happy to test out new ideas, so please leave a comment in the box below. I've linked everything in my Amazon store, and you can find the link in the description box for all the items that I used here today. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. I post new videos every single week, all to do with arts, crafts, and DIY, and I specialize in resin and alcohol inks and candle making. Thank you guys so much for watching.